Hey, this is Dave from metalepidemic.com. Thank you for checking out our YouTube video. Please feel free to hit the subscribe button below if you like this type of content, and we hope you enjoy the review.
I'm on the brink of!
What's up, guys? Dave, Duncan, Kyle, back from Metal Epidemic with another album review. And for this review, Duncan, Kyle and I have been checking out the new album from French hardcore band Beyond the Styx. The band's new album Sentence will be released on February 4th via WTF Records and Diorama Records. So, this is album number 3 from this French quintet that have been active since around 2010. The new album was recorded in July 2021 at Pole Nord Studio in France by Cryptopsy guitarist Christian Donaldson.
Holy shit.
Yep, who also engineered, mixed and mastered this album. The album also contains some guests. We have where's the first guy? Hold on, I did write this down somewhere. Oh, here. So on New World Disorder, I'm glad I'm organised. We have Louis Eifer from Teething. On Cyclops, we have Vincent Peignart Mancini from The Butcher's Rodeo and Acme, and also on Scorched AD by Guillaume Duhau from Final Showdown and Happy Face. Now, I haven't heard anyone talk about Happy Face in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a
Are
while.
they still on the go?
No, I don't think so.
Can't be.
I think, yeah, they haven't had an album out in like over 10 years. But that just guest vocals did excite me. If you haven't heard Happy Face, they put out an album called Le Tigre in 2005, and it is the tits.
It's really good.
Can't find my copy of it, which is rather annoying, but I'll hunt it down. I think it's on YouTube. Wee bit of background. We actually reviewed their first album back in 2015 when we were doing Rock and Roll Reviews, when that was still active. And actually, when I saw the email come through for the album, I instantly thought about that album. I could totally picture the album cover. It's kind of white and blue cover. Actually, we got a physical copy from them as well, which I still have. And I remember being quite into it as well. I remember that album had a bit of a kind of 90s kind of metalcore vibe. It was a bit of a kind of, now sounds like a bit of a throwback to like God Forbid and Unearth, Shadows Fall, those types of bands. So I was kind of looking forward to hearing what this band sounded like in 2022, because I hadn't heard anything since. I know they had an album out in between, but I actually hadn't heard that at all. And then when I hit play on this, I kind of like did a double take at my phone. I was like, is this the right album? Is this Beyond the Styx? Because the metalcore sound on here is almost non-existent.
Yeah.
Beyond the Styx have went pretty much full-blown hardcore here. And when I had a look online, it does look like they've went through some kind of lineup changes, especially in the guitar department. So that might be why the kind of sound is kind of slightly shifted. But holy fuck, here we are again, talking about French hardcore. Praise the sweet baby Jeebus. Dave,
something's happening over there just now. There's a weird revival or something happening in France just now, and I'll be honest, I'm all in on this.
Yeah.
I think what they're doing just now is really, really exciting over there. So
the French, the hardcore scene is goddamn savage right now. I mean, but the French metal scene in general is just legit fire, but the hardcore they're putting out is absolutely fantastic. Fantastique, I think, is the French equivalent. Calling it now, ladies and gents. 2022, year of hardcore.
Year of French hardcore. Let's narrow it right down. Let's narrow it right down. The year of French hardcore.
Yeah.
Be the only French hardcore album that comes out.
Yeah. But anyway, Beyond the Styx, whatever you did between 2015 and now, whatever you changed, it's working. I enjoyed the old material, but this is just hitting me right in the sweet spot, and you know which one I'm talking about.
Yeah, right in the sweet potatoes.
Right in the sexy one. It did. I mean, there was little parts of this did remind me of Worst Out, which we obviously spoke about last year. Kind of similar in tone, another French hardcore band. Works out maybe slightly more metallic, whereas this leans more on some of the more kind of traditional kind of characteristics from the 90s and early 2000s hardcore. You can hear little nods to bands like Sworn Enemy, Walls of Jericho, that type of thing. Fun fact, we played a show with Walls of Jericho and King Tut's in Glasgow.
Yep.
Almost got our cunts kicked in afterwards, which was a bit of a laugh.
Yeah, well, we were kind of more on the death metal side, and we were playing a hardcore gig, which is never with a hardcore crowd. And I will say, Walls of Jericho singer did in fact stand and chat to me, and she said very lovely things about her band. So I've never forgotten that. Very nice. And she didn't have to. She could have said security. You know what I mean? And she didn't do that.
Remove this gentleman. Yeah, that was cool. But this album has some of that kind of like meaty, kind of beat down, riddled, kind of savage energy, and it's killer. Like it doesn't even really sound rehashed either. I think like they have that like European streak, you know, like I mentioned, Worst Out have it as well, and it kind of gives the album like slightly more kind of dimensions to get your teeth into. And I think like great idea bringing in guest vocalists. I think it really gives those tracks another kind of layer of like epicosity. That's right. Let's make this the year that epicosity goes mainstream. Let's get it added to the dictionary.
We can do it. We can make like I want to start watching more videos with other people using our word.
Come on, folks.
Hashtag epicosity.
There we go. But yeah, those additional guest vocals, it really gives like those tracks a bit more, you know, extra teeth. And shout out to Guillaume from Happy Face. He's still got it. You know what I mean? That sexy son of a bitch has still got a fucking awesome vocal tone. I love this. Like I don't have much more to say about it, to be honest. This is a hardcore album and it fucks, gentlemen. It's inspired by the late 90s, early 2000s. I don't even need to like pick apart every song and describe how each riff sounds. I just need to tell you how fucking good it is and how it makes me want to kick someone in the dick. You know what I mean? Or le penis in French, if you're wondering what the French equivalent is.
That's le dong. Come on.
Le dong. Le dong.
Le petit beat.
Nothing petite about it, I'll tell you.
No. Massive.
Massive. Just say.
If you're, isn't it?
If you're a fan of venomous, bile-filled metallic hardcore, this is what they call a no-brainer. Check this out, and that production fucking slaps. And I don't even know if the word slaps is acceptable in 2022. So I'll use it one last time, and I'm going to put it to rest. Yeah. And if I use it again, guys, just give me a couple of fucking slaps. This is my jam, boys. This is my jam. Loved it. Absolutely loved it. I haven't heard these guys for so long, but really enjoyed what they're doing now. So can't wait to hear where they go next. What about you guys? I know like hardcore is my thing. You guys kind of dip your toes in it every now and again. But what did you make of this one from Beyond the Styx? Kyle, what did you think of this?
Oh man, I wish you hadn't asked me first.
Oh.
I mean, for hardcore, it's actually pretty good hardcore, I'm gonna guess. Judging by your description, I'm guessing it's good.
Correct,
yeah. It's not my thing. I don't know why. Like, it's got all the ingredients of music that I like, the heavy chugs and distorted guitars and all this stuff. But I don't know. I just find hardcore a bit too predictable for. Like I can always kind of tell what's coming next, and these guys I can kind of do that with. It gets a little bit repetitive by the end. I'm just like, okay, here's the bit where they go slow. Here's the bit where they do a gang vocal. Here's the bit la la la. But they've got a couple of good songs on there, like the 6th track, Chain of Life. Loved it. Really enjoyed that one. Don't know why. Sounds a lot like the rest, but just that one just really hit me weird. And also, I think a lot of it is I kind of didn't get along with the vocal that well. It's got this really, it's interesting and it's very different from a lot of other stuff that I've heard, which is great, but it just kind of grated on me. I was like, just shut the fuck up. I can appreciate what they're doing, but it just grated and I didn't enjoy it. So, I mean, people like stuff. You're allowed to like stuff. You're allowed to not like stuff.
Kyle, le fantastique.
Yeah, they are. But I don't like it.
Le dong.
And also, usual production shit with me. It's like the drums are not real. Some of them, at least, there's a lot of sampling in there, and I'm like, even a bit more than other stuff we've heard recently, and I'm like, it just turns me off. So, but otherwise, the guitars sound fucking huge and massive, and they're perfectly blended with the bass. So they've got a lot going on for them that, you know, fans of hardcore are just going to love. Absolutely, like Dave, you love it. Other fans of hardcore are going to fucking love it. For me, it's not really my thing. So I'm just going to say it's good for what it is, not my thing.
Okay. That's fair. And Duncan?
Well, I liked it more than Kyle. So let's put it that way. Don't know if I liked it as much as you, but I think I can't remember the previous album. I most certainly listened to it. If it was covered on the site back in the day, then I would have listened to it at some point. I think there's a lot to really, really like about this one. I mentioned on a previous review, so we're all out of time now. Vocally, he reminds me a lot of Jacob Brendel from Hatesphere. He's higher register.
Yeah.
But like Jacob had quite an extensive range. This guy just retains that kind of higher level, and I think it works really, really, really well. I thought it was actually one of the high points for me overall on the album. I thought it really suited. More so when you got the guest vocals. What I loved about this is the 3 guest vocalists to get in have completely different registers.
Yeah.
There is nothing more frustrating than listening to an album which has like several guest vocalists on different songs, and vocally these sound pretty much the same as the vocalist you've got there. What's the fucking point?
Yeah.
It's to add something in, and I think by the time you got to Scorch AD, as the guest vocalist range is so much heavier.
Yeah,
he's clearly so much more of a metal vocalist that the balance of the 2 vocals together is fucking awesome. I really enjoyed the production here. I think the guitars are sharp, like very, very, very sharp. They cut right through everything. I liked it mixed with the bass. The bass completely audible again, which has been the thing this year so far. Like all the albums we've reviewed this year, bass has been nice and audible, which I might sound like I'm being a bit too enthusiastic about that, but we talk about it all the time. You'd be surprised how quickly the bass just disappears in an album mix when the guitars get heavy or people just get lazy. And it has its own personality as well. It's doing a lot. It's not just following the guitars, and I really like that aspect. Drumming is tight as fuck. Really, really, really good drumming. Really, really enjoyed that. I didn't pick up on the sampling thing, but I don't have the ear that Kyle has. I thought it worked very well. Vocally, like I say, this is what drew me in. I think his aggression and his essentially lack of give up at all in any way, shape or form throughout the album just projects it right through for me. And this has, once again, the perfect runtime. This is a half an hour album. So by the end of it, I was like, that's cool. I didn't instantly go back and spin it, but I have listened to it several times, and each time I've listened to it, I've enjoyed the listen, which to me, like being someone who is tangentially interested with the genre as it is, speaks volumes. I'll be honest, there isn't a ton of hardcore albums that I'm like that a couple of days later after listening to it. You know what, I'm going to listen to it again. Notwithstanding my review, my grade hasn't changed from the first listen. So the other listens I went back were purely because I wanted to listen to it again. So there's a lot of that going for it. I think it's really cool. I'm kind of with you. I think there's something in the water just now in France, and I think it's proving to be really exciting because you get these little pockets every year or so where like a particular sound starts to emerge in a place you wouldn't expect it. Never expect that from France. Although on the flip side of that, you should totally expect it from France. That country will go on fucking strike, tools down, burn the bridges when someone does, like when someone says you have to work an extra half an hour. Tools down, lads! We're not fucking... And everyone in France, when a strike happens, everyone goes on strike. So it's a country of protest, and they're very, very good at it, and that's the music of hardcore. So I kind of love that about those elements joining together. Yeah, I mean, having not remembered much about the previous album that we listened to back in 2015, definitely on the radar, very much interested to see what happens with this, and if we start to see maybe more bands in this kind of region of the world doing a bit more hardcore. We certainly heard some hardcore from Spain now and Belgium as well, so as that pocket right along there's certainly something coming up. So exciting times, and they seem to be fitting in perfect with that.
Yeah. Excellent. So, ratings for Sentence from Beyond the Styx. As I said, I'm going to go back to this a ton this year. I can see it already. This is just right up my street. Like, this is the kind of genre that I love, and I love the kind of European kind of streak they've got through their sound. French they just know what they're doing when it comes to metal. This is another really strong album for me. I'd probably go 4.5 for this one for Sentence. Kyle, what are you thinking?
I'm gonna go. I think 3.5 out of 5. It's good for what it is. It's just not my thing. So yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Mm-hmm. And Duncan,
I'll split the difference and come in at 4.
Cool. So this one drops on February 4th on WTF Records and Diorama Records. I'll put some links below to their Facebook, to their Bandcamp, so you can check it out. Let us know what you think. Stick some comments in below once you've heard some of the tracks. Happy to hear your thoughts and opinions on it. That is the review. Thank you for checking it out. Much appreciated. We'll be back with another review very soon, but until then, take care. Speak to you soon.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.